All right, guys, welcome to my most confident picks video. I'm gonna give you my top 5 most confident picks. Last week I went 4-1. The only loss I had was Paddy Pimblett, which I was pretty sure he was going to win, but he ended up not showing the best fight IQ, going only for one body lock takedown in the 5th round. Where was this throughout the whole fight? I think the success that he had in the first round, where he was like, "Oh, I'm landing this uppercut, I'm landing this knee, I'm landing these jabs. I think I can knock him out." I think that was the demise of him because Justin Gaethje does not move his head, and he was seeing the success he was having, but he also was getting tagged himself. So he was like, "I can trade too, but I think I'm close to knocking him out." And he's just playing to Justin Gaethje's game, and I think he got sucked into it. His corner was pleading for him for a takedown. He did not oblige whatsoever, but I lost that. I won Umar Nurmagomedov, Natalia Silva, Natalia Silva, Gene Silva, and then somebody else. But yeah, I won my 4 most confident plays, and it just makes me feel good. So I'm gonna give you my I won 4 and one of my 5 most confident plays and made me feel good. I'm gonna give you my picks for this week for UFC 325, my top 5 most confident plays. The other person was Sean O'Malley. That's who I liked as well. Not Gene Silva, it was Atiba Gautier. Okay. Starting now is I'm gonna give you my first one. Should I go big off this? Nope, I'm not going to. I'll go Mauricio Hufi. My first one. I love Mauricio Hufi in this spot. Rafael Fiziev is a striker. Is he a really good technical striker? Yes. Offensively, he is. Defensively, he's trash, right? He doesn't move his head off the center line. He goes in a straight line, right? He goes in a straight line, everything. You'll never see him with lateral movement. Mauricio Hufi's always in motion, always ready to spring. And he's very good at it, especially being elusive on a guy that's there to be hit, like Rafael Fiziev. I'll take Mauricio Hufi. I saw Bobby Green give Rafael Fiziev the business, right? I saw that. I saw Bobby Green just tagging him. Boom, jab, 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 too. And Mauricio Hufi, he has very good slick boxing as well. I like this fight for him. It's going to be a bounce back fight. He's now fighting with Volkanovski's team in Australia. And I think that he's going to get a win here 30-27. I think this fight's going to go to decision. I think he's going to win all 3 rounds of style and profile on Rafael Fiziev. Maybe the calf kicks by Fiziev will start to damage Hufi, but I think Hufi's just a sniper. You're going to see the same thing with the Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong fight, where a guy that's reach isn't long enough, trying to whiff punches. I said that my Sean O'Malley breakdown on my top 5 most confident picks last week. I said it's gonna be like Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa, where Israel Adesanya is gonna be out of range in his own boxing range, but not typically the boxing range of Rafael Fiziev, where he can land attacks. And I think that Mauricio Hufi is gonna snipe him from the outside and win via decision 30-27. Right? Next, not a sexy pick, but it's a winner. It's Kalian Salkild. He's going to destroy Jay Mularkey. He's just good everywhere. I mean, he has good grappling, he has good wrestling, he has good striking. Like, he is good everywhere. You saw him knock out Nasrat Haqparast, who's a capable striker himself. I have to give it to Kilian Salkild to beat Jay Mularkey, who's not that good at anything. Like, you have somebody that's above average at everything, like Salkild. Like, you could say he's good to above average on everything, while you have Jay Mularkey, who's just bad. He's not athletic. He's not talented. He's not skilled. Um, he doesn't set up any strikes. His strikes don't are like pillow shots. Like, he's not that good. And I think Salkild is gonna just mop up the floor with him. That's why he's a -1,000 favorite. Right. Next, we have Jacob Malkoun. Jacob Malkoun has 3 losses on his ledger. Right. I think he's 8-3 or 10-3. But the 3 losses, one was a knockout early in his career. The second one was to Brendan Allen, where he got robbed, brutally robbed in that fight, where he was destroying Brendan Allen for 3 rounds, and they somehow gave the fight to Brendan Allen, probably because Jacob Malkoun didn't do a lot of damage. And then the third fight was a DQ versus Cody Brundage, where he hit him in the back of the head or kneed him in the face. Whatever he did, he got DQ'd for an illegal strike. And Jacob Malkoun is now finally back after a year off. He is the main training partner for Robert Whittaker, so he's been getting good rounds in. And Jacob Malkoun is a great fighter, right? He's a great fighter. He should be a top 15 guy. This him versus Torres Finney, this is a joke. Him being at -155 is an actual joke. He is a very good fighter. If he was Russian, this would be a -800, -1,000 line. So he is that good at wrestling. I like his wrestling a lot. I know what you're gonna say. He's from Australia. He can't wrestle, right? There's no wrestling in Australia, brother. Yeah, I know, but he's the exception. He's that good at it. So I'm taking Jacob Malkoun to beat Torres Finney, who's just a short box of a middleweight, not really good at anything, doesn't put any damage. Jacob Malkoun can wrestle. Like, he wrestles really well. He's gonna find himself on top. He's a good fighter. I'm gonna take Jacob Malkoun to beat Torres Finney, who I don't think Torres Finney has that killer capability to get this fight over with, right? I don't see it. Okay, so next I have is Yi Za. Yi Za is a very good wrestler, right? The thing is you're always gonna have to take the wrestler if his striking is decent, and especially if the striking of your opponent is shit. Con Offley's striking is absolute garbage shit. He does not move his head. He's there to be knocked out. Yi Za throws a nice 1-2 and he goes for the double leg and he takes him down. I think Yi Za should be able to take down Con Offley pretty easily, control him for 3 rounds. This fight should be over in 3 rounds or maybe 2 if finds a sub later. But Yi Za is a much better fighter. This is a layup fight for Yi Za. Yi Za is just, they're trying to hype him up. I think he won the road to UFC, and they're trying to hype him up and trying to give him a name. They gave him Weston Wilson. They know what they're doing. They gave him Weston Wilson last time. Now they gave him Con Offley. Con Offley is like an ultimate fighter. He was a runner-up, not that great of a fighter. Lost to Myron Santos. Yi Za is just better everywhere. I think his wrestling is going to be too much for Con Offley. He's going to take him down and just destroy him. And Con Offley doesn't move his head on when he strikes either. So I think Yi Za can knock him out, or at least put some damage on him to get a takedown later on and set that up. Right? That's what I think. Next, I have, and last, is Dan Hooker. I have Dan Hooker here, and I like Dan Hooker a lot in this fight. I love Benoit Saint Denis. You have to understand, Benoit Saint Denis, I literally have been campaigning hard to have him as the um BMF, BMF. But Benoit Saint Denis has one big flaw. One big flaw. You're gonna say it's his striking, he leaves his chin in the air, whatever. No, he shoots takedowns on single legs, and he has his head, or even double legs, and has his head on the outside. And that is where Dan Hooker is successful. You saw it versus Mateusz Gamrot, where I even picked Dan Hooker to beat Mateusz Gamrot, because I said I think Dan Hooker can sub Mateusz Gamrot with a guillotine, because Dan Hooker has a nasty, nasty guillotine. You saw that guillotine on Arman Sarukian where he had to belly out and an alligator roll out of it. You saw that. And you saw him threaten Gilbert Burns many times back in the day with it. He has a very nasty guillotine, and I think that he's going to guillotine Benoit Saint Denis. And even if he doesn't guillotine Benoit Saint Denis, he's going to use the guillotine to stand up. And that's the big thing that he did versus Mateusz Gamrot. And I think he's going to do the same thing to Benoit Saint Denis. Benoit Saint Denis is on a hot streak right now. Just beat Benil Dariush, beat Mauricio Hufi, beat some no-name Cal Profolek or whatever his name is. He beat these guys pretty soundly, pretty easily, especially the Mauricio Hufi one was very impressive. But I think Dan Hooker is going to win this fight. I think he's the more polished fighter right now. And even though he just fought Arman Sarukian, got kind of dominated, you have to understand he also just had a wrestling camp earlier with Arman Sarukian. So he's been wrestling now for like 6 months. So his takedown defense versus Benoit Saint Denis should be really good. And Benoit Saint Denis, you have to remember also, got smoked by Renato Moicano. And that's a thing. Like I can't unsee that. Is his jiu-jitsu that good? Because I saw Renato Moicano just going to mountain to him, and Benoit Saint Denis couldn't get up, and he started punching from the bottom, which you never do, which is a big no-no in MMA. So I think that Benoit Saint Denis is going to lose to Dan Hooker. I think Dan Hooker might sub him. I want to see the sub line for this guy, because that sub line is actually not that bad, probably. Let's see what it is. Via submission, winning method. Here you go. Boom, 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 boom. Dan Hooker to win by submission is plus 2,200. Love it. That's a great bet. That's honestly a really, really good bet. I like that bet a lot. I'm probably gonna take it for like $500 and hope for the best. But I like Dan Hooker in this fight a lot. He's not 500, maybe like 250. But I like Dan Hooker in this fight a lot. I think he's the better fighter, and he's a more accomplished fighter, obviously. But he also just had a 6-month camp with Arman Sarukian, so I'm gonna be taking him. I think he's gonna win this fight. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Again, my picks are Mauricio Hufi. I think he's just too good of a fighter in range, out of range for Rafael Fiziev, who doesn't move his head, who doesn't move laterally. He's not really athletic. He has good technique on offense, but again, he's there to be hit. And I think Mauricio Hoofui's a sniper. I like Kellyanne Salkild. I think he's gonna murder Jamie Mullarkey. Jamie Mullarkey's a scrub. He's trash. He's terrible. Right? Jacob Malkoon beats Doris Finney. Jacob Malkoon should be a top 15 prospect. He's that good. He should beat Brendan Allen. He got robbed in that fight. Beat Cody Brundage. He was on his way to be in that top 15 rankings, but he's been inactive for a year, but I think he's gonna be back. I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's the better fighter versus Torres Finney. I think he's just better everywhere. Next is Yiza versus Con Offley. They're feeding Con Offley. Con Offley is a jobber, right? They're feeding this jabroni to Yiza because Yiza won the road to UFC. He's Asian. They want to go into that Asian market. They just got fed him Weston Wilson. There probably is a stat. If you beat Weston Wilson, you're winning your next 5 fights because they want you to be the next guy if you're fighting Weston Wilson, right? Because they want that highlight reel when they put you on the fight card. Oh, Yeezaw. Weston Wilson KO. Cue the Weston Wilson KO. Next and last is Dan Hooker. I love Dan Hooker in this fight. Again, the takedowns. I think he'd be able to take down Benoit Saint-Denis. If he takes down Dan Hooker, I think he's latch up that guillotine. He has a nasty, nasty guillotine. I don't think you guys understand how good his guillotine is, especially with his long arms. I think he should be able to get it done. And he also probably was training for wrestling for 6 months. You have to take it. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this video. Those are my 5 plays. Thank you.